Uncle Tim's. It's all good.
So since the hydraulic pump has to be mounted horizontally, this plate isn't going to work. So I made another plate, weld on here, drilled out the holes for it. I'm going to weld this on here and then weld a brace underneath it to brace it up. And then I'll be able to attach the hydraulic pump flat right here onto this. So that's what I'm doing right now. And this trailer is dead level. I've got the bubble level on there and it's right smack in the center. So I'm going to use this level to make my line across here so I know where to place this plate. Alright, well, we had a little bit of rain, but it's cleared out now. I've got this plate dried off. I'm going to go ahead and get the hydraulic pump mounted on here, get this thing put back together. Well, my new hydraulic cylinder was supposed to come in today. I'm going from an 18-inch stroke to a 24-inch stroke. And it was supposed to arrive today, so I pulled off the old cylinder. I used these jacks here to hold up the boom. And was able to get that removed out of there, and I drained the oil back into the container out of the hydraulic cylinder so I can reuse it in the new one. And after I got it taken off, I went in and checked my tracking number again, and it was delayed until Monday. This is Friday. It's supposed to be here today. Now it's been delayed until Monday, so this is gonna have to sit here like this until Monday when that new one comes in. And not sure if I'm gonna be able to get these jacks to lift it up high enough to get the new one in there, because it's gonna be longer, so the boom's gonna have to be at a slight upward angle when it's in its resting position. So I might have to pull these wheels off again and then lower the trailer back down as low as I can get it to be able to get this boom up high enough to be able to fit the cylinder in there. But guess it'll have to wait till Monday. Find out then. Stay tuned. Alright, I got my new hydraulic cylinder in there, 24-inch stroke, and it reaches up pretty high. So that string that's attached up there, it's got these washers here on the bottom, is 14 feet long, so we're 14 feet above the ground to the tip of that boom right there. Or we're above, yeah, we're above 14 feet. Sorry for the glare. Above 14 feet off the ground to the tip of the boom there. And you can see it's just past the end of the trailer. Here, stop the swinging. So it's about a foot or a foot and a half past the end of the trailer there. Looks longer than it is from that angle. Anyhow, so it's just past the end of the trailer. So it shouldn't want to tip backwards too terribly bad, especially with these jacks here and all that weight. So now, good portion of the weight of that boom is now behind the axle. Because it's lifted up there. And then also, after talking with a friend of mine who's an engineer, I'm going to attach a strap, put a D-ring on here and attach a strap that'll come up to the tongue of the trailer here and help to give it a little more strength and not want to pull on this beam right here. So that'll just give it a little more stability, a little more strength. So now the question is, can those two beams support that weight? And they should be able to handle that kind of weight. But anyhow, it works. I got that new cylinder on there and she lifts up pretty high. I'm pretty happy with that. And gonna get a chance to test it out here the end of this week, or yeah, this weekend. We're gonna go ahead and harvest a steer and give it a try. So I need to get the toolbox mounted on the front here, run some wiring, get the wiring ran to it. I need to check to see what's going on. I got these jumper cables, these black and white ones to use. I'm going to just cut the ends off and use those, or that's what the plan was, use those to power this thing. But it almost seemed like it wasn't getting enough power through those cords, even though that's 4-gauge wire. It's heavy duty for some reason. Well, I'm going to test it here again in a minute. I hooked up these other jumper cables that are heavier, and it started working no problem. So if need be, I guess I can use those jumper cables and put the black and white ones in my truck. But anyhow, get that all figured out, get the toolbox mounted on the tongue here, get everything wired up, and I plan on putting a cover over the top of this motor too. So yeah, I'll actually put a piece of steel coming out that'll cover this, and I'll have some rubber or plastic hanging off to protect that motor pump there from the weather. And then off the end of that is where I'm actually going to put the D-ring and then attach up to the tongue of the trailer up there. Where some of those parts I've taken off to paint will get mounted back on there, and I'll put a D-ring on on that. It's the base for the trailer ratchet. Anyhow, it works. So now I got to get all the little details done. Oh yeah, and there's that D-ring I put up there. I also plan on attaching a rope to that and having that come down to the boat winch. And use that once this is raised up like this, attach that down to the tongue, just as a safety factor. It's going to be a super heavy duty rope, and just in case something happens with the hydraulics, that boom won't come crashing down. And then of course before we let it down, we'll have to let that rope loose. It works. Well, let's lower her down. We'll go ahead and get that on film.